The Sensorites, Doctor Who's 7th ever serial, first broadcast in 6 parts from the 20th of June to the 1st of August 1964. The first Doctor, played by William Hartnell, as well as his companion Susan Foreman, played by Caroline Ford, Ian Chesterton, played by William Russell, and Barbara Wright, played by Jacqueline Hill, find themselves on a spaceship some miles away from Earth, where they find it's mainly staffed by 3 humans. Like, it's implied that there's others, and they're just kind of shoved away for the minute, but the 3 they end up discovering are Maitland, played by Lorne Cassett, Carol, played by Ilona Rogers, and John, played by Stephen Dartnell. While it appears at first as though they're dead, they're actually just been put into a kind of a long-term stasis. And they appear to be afraid of a set of creatures known as the Sensorites, played by a variety of actors, including Ken Tilson, Joe Grieg, Peter Glaze, Arthur Newell, Eric Francis, Bartlett Mullins, Anthony Rogers, and Jerry Martin. Now, the Sensorites are effectively, in terms of Doctor Who, they're the kind of forerunners of the Ood. The Ood would be heavily influenced by the Sensorites in terms of design-wise when they eventually arrived in 2006. I mean, even in the 2008 episode Planets of the Ood, when the Doctor realises that he's on the Ood sphere, he mentions that he's been in that particular area of space a while ago, as he mentions the Sense Sphere. Now, the Sensorites are preventing the ship from leaving. Well, the spaceship is effectively orbiting the Sense Sphere, and the Sensorites don't actually want to kill the humans, but they don't want to let them leave either. Now, it's revealed that the Sensorites have had kind of like a bad history with humanity. Like, a previous expedition came from space, manned by humans, and, well, they worked out that the Sense Sphere, where the Sensorites lived, was rich in molybdenum, which, if I know my chemistry, is, I think, element number 42 in the periodic table, if I'm not very much mistaken. But, yeah. They worked out the planet was rich in molybdenum, and they tried to mine it out, they tried to take it, they tried to force the Sensorites back, and in doing so they caused an explosion and caused problems. So the Sensorites basically say to the spaceship orbiting Earth, look, we don't want to harm you. Well, at first they very much just want to keep them kind of in just an orbit, but then once they meet up with the humans and the Doctor, basically say, look, we don't wish to harm you, but we can't let you leave, so we will allow you to come down to the Sense Sphere, you'll be taken care of, you just can't go back to Earth. Now, on the Sense Sphere, there are various types of Sensorites, and there are various types of kind of class system. But the main ones who are in charge are the First Elder, who wears 2 sashes across his chest, the Second Elder, who wears 1 sash, and then there's like the Administrator, who wears a black collar. But while most of the Sensorites seem fairly placid and don't actually want to harm the humans, the Administrator kind of sees humans as a deep threat and wants to work up a plan in order to try and wipe the humans out. While the other Sensorites don't want to do that, as they're already dealing with a plague on their own, which the Doctor eventually discovers is due to deadly nightshade. And aside from that, the Sensorites already have problems enough of themselves, as their biology means they can't actually see in darkness. Like, when you turn the lights off normally for humans, while it may take a few minutes, eventually your eyes will adjust to where you can't see entirely, but you can see enough in just complete darkness. I think possibly due to the amount of something in your eyes changes. But basically the Sensorites can't do that. They can't see in darkness. So basically once the humans turn the lights out, Sensorites can't see anything, and that scares them. And so it's a question really throughout the serial of whether the Sensorites are good, bad, or whether they're just afraid. And honestly, it works out really well for a story. Now, I won't give away what the kind of big reveal is as to why the Sensorites have been poisoned with deadly nightshade, which I have to admit, for a brief time, I actually thought deadly nightshade was just a poison made up for Dr. Dolittle. But anyway, that was just me. I was wrong. But I won't reveal what the ultimate kind of reveal is of what was going on and what the creatures were and what was happening. But I do think that the Sensorites is worth checking out at least once. And yeah, so I would say if you want to kind of complete Doctor Who, I don't know if people would mark this as one of their favourites, but at the same time, it's one you should check out. Anyway, I'll be back soon with another Doctor Who review, hopefully with a better sounding voice than this. Apologies for the minute, I'm going through a bit of a cold. But until next time, see ya.